video gaming minions, Dr. Virtual here returns. I'd like to welcome you to another new segment and the very first episode of Virtual Archives. And Virtual Archives is basically me talking about video game characters and or video game items. And since there's thousands of video game characters and a lot of items, there's a lot to talk about in this subject. So, thank you very much for tuning in, and I would like to welcome you to the very first episode, and the very first character we're going to be talking about, Super Mario.
Super Mario, the great and well-known carpenter which was brought to life by the great Shigeru Miyamoto turned plumber. I guess carpentry was not your thing anymore, was it? By working on a construction site, by avoiding barrels being logged by an angry crazed gorilla who escaped from the zoo, who kidnaps his dame in distress. Oh yeah, how cliche. And you decided to go into the plumbing business and work with pipes. Talking about pipes, your life seems to revolve around entering pipes a lot, eh, Mario? Okay. My very first experience of playing a Super Mario game was at a young age. I would say around the age of 3 years old. So I was a little nipper. And if I remember correctly, the game was Super Mario Bros. 3, a legendary video game in the Super Mario franchise. I really enjoyed that game very much. There was a lot to enjoy about it. Its difficulty, the music, the gameplay, the different levels. Then at the same time, Super Mario Bros. 2 and the groundbreaking Super Mario Kart was introduced to me around the same time that year. So I was a fan of Super Mario from the get-go when I was a little nipper. Super Mario Kart was the very first racing game I have ever played, and I loved it to pieces. With its variety of characters, the graphics were and still are to this day astonishing, the music was excellent and still is to this day, and happily and bubbly. The overall game itself was brilliant, even using the little items you get added to the extra fun. Such great times I remember playing this game with my cousins, and we had a blast with it. As I was growing up, Super Mario games became more on my wanted list as I really wanted to have the next Super Mario game. Thankfully for the N64 just happened to be released when I was still young, around the ages of 6 years old. Super Mario 64 made its entrance to the 3D platforming world with stunning confidence. Oh, and what a game Super Mario 64 was. It was hailed as one of the greatest video games I have ever played up to that point. And even still is to this day. It remains just that, and is in my top 50 games of all time. I love the music in Super Mario 64 and just how greatly designed each stage and each world was. I could not get over the fact that I spent hours and hours on this game as a kid. It was a thrilling experience for myself as a young gamer at the time. Not too long after the great Super Mario 64 was released, another fantastic title was released featuring Italian Stallion, Mario Kart 64. If there was one thing I noticed about the N64 games, is its music, and Mario Kart 64 has some of the best soundtracks I have heard in a racing game. Experiencing this gem of a game was outstanding, even on a competitive level of playing with my family and friends. For many years I could not let go of the controller, so to speak, of playing this game over and over again. I really enjoyed experimenting with different characters such as Bowser, Donkey Kong, Luigi, Wario and Toad. Of course, it was great that each class had its own varied statistics. Up to this point I have been enjoying the Super Mario games very much. I was even expanding my interest in other sports such as golf and tennis into my life thanks to the awesome Mario Golf game and Mario Tennis game. I remember renting that game from Blockbusters back in the day and I really enjoyed it. The challenge of trying to beat the CPU was good, and I kept coming back for more when I couldn't achieve a win. After a few years, before the turn of the new millennium, another game came out that featured the mushroom-eating Sty Harper man himself, a game that I have loved ever since its release and still to this day I have huge amount of love for. Super Smash Bros. Unfortunately, I never owned this game. I only rented this game. One of my cousins rented it, and when we put it in on, oh, how I did not want to stop playing this outstanding fighting game that featured other Nintendo characters from different video games that I was familiar with. My love for Nintendo at that time was huge, and so was my respect for them, bringing us gamers such great games.
So that's Super Mario. Thank you very much for watching, my fellow video gaming minions. I suppose the good thing about Virtual Archives is that I don't have to talk about video game characters who I have grown up with. It can be any video game character. I can play a new game and talk about them. Whatever. It all depends on you and whichever games I play. So I can talk about whatever. So thank you very much for watching, my fellow video gaming minions.
Thank you for watching this episode of Virtual Archives. Please comment in the comments section of which character you would like me to talk about next time. And may retro gaming live on.